I'll turn German for just a second. Welcome back to the program. My next guest is a gentleman whom I respect. I've been talking to him for years now. It's Timothy Cruz, who is your Plymouth County District Attorney. Good morning.
Good morning, Ron.
Pleasure always.
It's great to be here.
How are things going?
I think things are going pretty good.
I think so too.
I'm very optimistic about a lot of things that are going on right now. So,
I remember when you first took the seat, and it was a wonderful thing. Now it was 72 years ago. Is that correct?
some people may think it's that long, but it's actually, I'm in my 9th year right now of being DA.
I remember the first year, like it was yesterday.
Well, it went by really quick, I think. I think we were very busy, and we've been very busy, but I think we're really fortunate to have a real great group of people that work in the DA's office, and I was fortunate to follow Mike Sullivan, and he followed my old boss, Bill O'Malley, and I think that's been a really good tradition here in our county.
This might be more of a testimony because I know more about you than you know about yourself sometimes, but here's the, I mean that jokingly, I'm sure you know more about yourself. You actually are an advocate to make things better besides just performing your position as Plymouth County District Attorney. You actually do, you are seen in front of hearings, you're an advocate for the justice system so that when someone does wrong, they stay taken care of, so to speak. They don't just walk back on the street.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we have to deal with, in the DAs collectively across the state, we see a lot of challenges every day, I think, with a lot of the legislation that we have to deal with, which really doesn't work or it needs to be tweaked. And when we see that there are problems with legislation, then we need to make sure we're heard by our reps and by our senators, that we can get the changes that we need to more effectively do our job. But what's been my experience is that when we do change something for the better, somebody somewhere will find something else. So it seems to be a constant evolving process of trying to get things done and corrected. And in the DA's office now, our role has really, I think, really grown from not just being a prosecutor, but also from going to the schools and preventive programs that we have to be in. As local aid gets cut, and unfortunately it's been cut and probably will be again, the schools look out to us. How can you help us with internet safety issues, with cyberbullying issues, with sexting issues? How can you help us with drug issues that are going on, mock trials, harassment issues, domestic violence issues, white ribbon campaigns for men against people who are against violence? And I think those are things that originally weren't there back when I was in the DA's office 26 years ago. Now it's pretty common.
Your position is different than such as John's, who was on previously, where sometimes you need a fresh approach to handle things differently and to change things up so that they can be changed for the better. In your position, I'm more comfortable, and I think the public is more comfortable with somebody that knows the ropes, the details of their position. Because if you don't have that and you start from scratch, or someone that doesn't know all of that necessarily, you start to lose a little bit in the game, because it is a big game, and you have to know every single rule and every single rope to do it properly. And in your situation, I believe experience is the key.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've been doing criminal trial work for the last 26 years, either as a prosecutor or as a defense attorney. And here with all of our cases, like with all our homicide cases, for instance, nobody gets arrested for homicide in Plymouth County unless I say so. Those were always run by me, and I always sit there. I play devil's advocate. What do we need to do? What which T do we have to cross? Which I do we have to dot? And I have many discussions with police officers. I know when they leave my office, sometimes they're not happy because they're ready to go get somebody. But we're going to do it right, and we're going to make sure that we do our job. And I think as a result of that, we've had such a high rate of convictions in our homicides over the years. We've had such a high rate of clearance in our homicides over the years that it's something I'm really proud of to be able to work and continue to work with the state police, the local police. The Brockton guys do a tremendous job in real challenging times. And I think even though when something bad does happen, it may be the front page of the newspaper, there's a lot of good things going on every day here in the city of Brockton. And I think that people should know that.
Well, people should also know, and I think they probably realize, when there's an arrest made or there's a crime, a murder, an assault, whatever the case may be, they know of that taking place, but they don't always know that the arrest has been made, or then they certainly rarely know that the prosecution has been successful in their request. These things aren't reported. These things aren't news. The action itself is news. What happens after tends to get lost, and the success rate of arrest and conviction is quite high.
It's very high. I think the clearance rate of homicides in our county is over 80%, which when you compare that to say Boston, which is like 30%, it's much lower. And we're very similar with a lot of urban areas. Boston's got its own challenges. I know there are a lot of great guys working up there, but we have no snitch issues. We have gang issues that we have to deal with. And I think that really a lot of times it comes down to old-fashioned police work, guys knocking on doors, chasing down leads, and getting whatever evidence we can get. And granted, there's forensic stuff out there that we're always looking for. But when you put these cases together, before your arrest, you've got to make sure you're ready to go, because your case is usually not going to get any better. Once you arrest somebody, and once he's charged with a crime, he's going to have a lawyer. He's not going to be talking, and you're going to be positioned where that's pretty much where your evidence is going to freeze.
It's always a pleasure to see you, and
You too.
in your case, you need to get back to work because
I do.
You do some important stuff. So as they all do, I should say, but I prefer that you get back to work. It's always a pleasure to see you. How can people support your campaign?
I am up for re-election this year, and my campaign site is Cruz Committee at AOL.com. Please contact us there if you're interested. We're working on another website right now, and we'll get information out. And obviously, we're always looking for everybody's help and support. I think that experience does count. I've been doing this for a long time. I think we've been relatively successful. I look forward to doing it again 4 more years. There's a lot of things that I have on the table that I'm looking to do right here in Brockton as well as in the county, that if we're successful with it, I think it'll make a real difference and it'll continue to keep people safer.
I will throw in that, and you alluded to it, that the financial situation and budgetary concerns are eating into every position that's being sought for here, in the way that we live our lives and the way the Commonwealth goes through it as well. And that's an important acumen to have as well. Otherwise, you actually wouldn't say fail, but you suffer.
You do, and and being the DA, you're also managing the largest law firm really in the county. That's really what it comes down to. We have 55 lawyers. I have 125 employees, throughout the county who work really hard every day. But you've got to manage that business also and deal with the issues and the personnel issues that also occur in any business, and also figure out your resources. And we're always going to do the work. We're always going to have sufficient funds, because I'm not going to stop. We can't stop investigating homicides or shootings because we don't have any more money. We're going to continue to do that job, but we need to make sure that the people up on Beacon Hill understand that we need to fund public safety. We need to fund law enforcement. We were cut 8.5% last year. I hear that they're looking to cut us some more, and really that's devastating stuff. And for the people that are out, the police on the front lines, who are really challenged now more than ever here in Brockton. They have so few police as compared to what they should have, statistically speaking, compared to other cities that have a lot more. So we definitely have a lot of issues, but I think experience does matter, and I'm looking forward to do 4 more years.
Ironically, if you polled most citizens, and I believe there was a recent poll on this subject, that the one thing that they wouldn't want to see cut would be police and safety. That's where they think the money is well spent and well contributed to, oddly enough, and yet that's where the state sometimes considers making cuts. Public doesn't go that way. Public doesn't feel that way.
Right. No, I agree, and we need to make sure, like our Children's Advocacy Center, it's basically partially. I do a golf tournament every year to try to keep that thing going. The administration just cut the budget $3.3 million to $1 million for PDC nurses for dealing with the 500 kids that we have every year in our county alone who are physically and sexually abused. And they're telling us that basically we should be in a position to fundraise. I mean, are we supposed to do bake sales to protect kids? It's insane.
Yeah, and I know you can't bake.
You got that right.
And I don't want you to. I'd rather you do what you do than bake. This is your, it's a 2-year? 4 year.
4 years.
So this is how many renewals for you?
This will be my 3rd renewal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Must be a reason.
I hope so.
Okay, sir. Timothy Cruz, give him your support, Plymouth County District Attorney, asking to continue. The longer he continues, the more time he has to make things right for you and your family and your environment. Thank you, sir. We'll take another break. It's 9:40. You're listening to The Ron Van Dam Show on WXBR. Hit it, Julie.